So the chapter goes on to talk about cultural and linguistically diverse students, and it says culturally diverse individuals are those reared in a culture that is at variance from that found in the school or different from the dominant culture in the United States. So just saying that they're maybe come from a different country that they have a different culture coming in and different than the way that maybe we do public school or school here in America. And the text talks about things that teachers can do to help the student. The text talks about how education and teachers must recognize the impact of diversity on the performance of these students and be able to accept them into the class to help add diversity and enrich the learning community. So students may struggle in the academic and social areas through language, so to be able to foster that. And most students with language differences will be in the general ed classroom. Another option is we have the ESL, English Second Language teacher, that comes in to support, or she pulls the students out to help with a small group on specific vocabulary that can help them. And it's important for teachers to always include students. Even though they may be speaking a different language, they can still include them and use tools that the student will need. As an educator, it's very important to be aware of one's own culture and then the cultures of others, and being aware and understanding of students' cultures and development of effective cross-cultural communication skills. So knowing about the culture, how the student can feel comfortable, how they approach an adult, how the adult and student interaction should be, and then be able to come cross-cultural and be able to find a common ground for communication. So I have a student that she moved here this summer from China, and so her and her mother are both learning English. And during this time of transition, we have been able to use our ESL teacher. Also, we use Google Translate when we have a long conversation that we need to translate together. And her just me learning her culture, and then her learning the way that our culture is at school has been a way for us to communicate and talk together. And now that we've been in school for over a month, it's becoming more common ground. Our cross-cultural communication skills have been coming together. In linguistic diversity, language is another important consideration in the education of students from diverse backgrounds. For many, but not all, culturally diverse students, the language spoken in the home is not English, but the family's heritage language, sometimes called the home language. So when a student moves in from another country, we talked about this in the previous chapter, they'll fill out a paper, and the paper will talk about what their home language is and what they speak at home. So I have several students this year who speak a different language at home than they do than English in the classroom. And so they're able to transfer that, and we need to be aware when we're sending information home to parents to make sure that it's able to be translated. So common languages in the U.S. And then principles of culturally responsive instruction, and talking through building English vocabulary, provide students who are English learners with opportunities to hear, say, read, and write new words. Now that we have technology in the schools, there's lots of different uses with that, to use technology to help them learn languages and being able to help them with their writing and saying it. Make the classroom a comfortable place for students to practice their new language skills, helping them to be involved and teaching other students, everyone in the class, to be accepting and learning, and how we all enjoy learning from each other. Another thing is allow students to be silent when they are first learning a new language. This is called the silent period, and letting them be able to take time, just kind of grasping everything and being able to accept it all. And in this Another thing is up here with provide students who are English learners with opportunities to hear, say, and read. Another thing that's very helpful is providing them pictures to go with the words, and so then they can see the picture and the word and that to match it up, especially will help them with their reading and then their writing.